Pirate Bay. Purge the logs. We never received that signal.
I have something for you. Little lost daughter case.
So what's my contract exactly?
Find Julie Mao if she's still here on series, detain her and ship her home.
Kidnap job. My pleasure.
Anybody grew up this far from the sun don't give a good goddamn what planet you're from.
With a real sky over your head and real gravity holding you on the ground, they don't trust you.
That distress call we never received. It was logged with HQ. Holden, they'll head up this rescue or salvage. Put a shuttle team together.
So just for the record, guys, I don't want to be here right now.
Greetings, citizens of the internet. My name is FailureToReport, and today I'm going to be talking about an amazing show that you should be watching, and that show is The Expanse. Now, I started this video with a short clip that sets the mood for The Expanse. It's an epic space drama with elements from across so many genres that it's nothing short of a miracle that the show producers managed to put it together correctly. The Expanse started as a book series by James S. A. Corey, which is the combined pen names of the two minds behind this amazing world of science fiction. Interestingly enough, and very relatable for the regulars of my channel, The Expanse started out as a project to write the lore and world behind a future space MMO. And while that seems to have not panned out, for now, hopefully, maybe, the adaptation to television is an amazing example of what happens when everything comes together just right. So, with this video, I'm going to try not to show a lot of the actual show, and it's because personally I hate spoilers, it drives me crazy, and I don't want to give away too much of this show to anyone who hasn't blessed their eyeballs with it yet. So with that, let's talk about the setting of The Expanse. The show starts the audience off with a short introduction to the state of affairs in our solar system. Space travel within our solar system has become a thing of reality, with humanity colonizing Mars, creating space stations on moons and asteroids like Ceres and Eros, and now, even despite our leaps in technology and our expansion into the stars, humanity still does what it does best, and we remain a divided race. But now, instead of tensions being based on the color of your skin, it falls to where you come from. Earthborn humans are called Earthers, Martian citizens are referred to as Dusters, and taking the new mantle as a minority group used for labor and looked down upon for their inability to handle the gravity of a real planet are the Belters, citizens who live and work in space their entire lives. Be it on space stations or ships working across the emptiness of space. And the disdain each group of humans has for the other sets, it kind of sets the stage for a lot of the future tensions in this show, but the initial plot and a majority of the first season kind of revolves around two groups of people. A Belter detective named Miller, who gets an off-the-books job from his boss to find a rich Earther girl, and on the crew of an ice hauler called the Canterbury. Now, I really can't go much further with explaining the setting of the show or the characters without really getting into spoilers, because a lot of major things happen very fast, and it's really hard to just get into that universe without giving things away. So I'm going to try to hold short on explaining the actual events of the show and give some quick feedback to you guys who haven't seen this yet. Now, one of the first things a lot of Expanse fans will tell you is that they didn't get into it at first. A lot of the people I know who are now addicted to the show all say the same thing. Man, it was just so slow and took forever to grab my interest. I just stopped watching it. And eventually they all go around to giving it another chance, and that's when the hooks are just fucking sunk in deep. The problem The Expanse suffers from in Season 1, in my opinion, was that they tried so hard to set the setting and the tone of the universe similar to how a book does. This works in a book because you're reading, and you need those details to mentally build the world you're reading. But you don't need that in a TV show, and it makes things feel sluggish and slow to grab an audience. And it absolutely shows in The Expanse's first season. And it's a real shame. But, that said, I promise you, it gets very, very good towards the end of that season. So, the challenge I would give to you is make it through Season 1. If you can finish Season 1, which is streaming free on Amazon Prime, by the way, and you still aren't interested, it just might not be a show for you. It might not be your cup of tea, whatever. But that said, everyone I know who originally wrote it off and eventually went back to finish the show has sworn up and down at how amazing the show is once it finds its footing. And it absolutely finds its footing. In my opinion, it's right around episode 6 of the first season. People, their opinions may vary on when the show finally kind of grabbed them, but everybody I know who is really into the show, most of them started off not really being that into it, and right around the midpoint of the first season, they're just addicted, and now they watch every single episode as it airs, because it really is one of those shows. It's a fluke in TV. It's so rare. It's to find a gem like this on a a network, especially like Sci-Fi, whew, it's something else. Now, as any of you channel regulars know, I don't really have any experience with making content related to shows or movies, and this trial by fire isn't something that I was sure about doing. However, recently The Expanse, which airs on the Sci-Fi Network, was canceled, despite it having a 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, because if there's one thing as certain as Electronic Arts is greed, it's that Sci-Fi literally cannot handle having a good TV show without killing it. Yet, even in the darkest timeline, light still finds a way, and The Expanse has been renewed for its 4th season on Amazon Prime. So, as a fan of both the books and the TV show, I feel it's important to spread the word of this show and get new fans caught up with the current show, as well as invested in the coming season on its new platform. There is no shortage of absolute garbage on TV these days, and the idea of The Expanse fizzling out is nothing short of a tragedy. This show boasts not only an incredible cast, even if the main character has a few too many moments of like, I'm brooding about this current situation. Look at my brooding face. The acting is still absolutely incredible, especially for a show that started on Sci-Fi. It's fucking phenomenal. Additionally, the special effects are fucking top notch. This show looks and feels like movie quality production in every single episode. It's amazing what they have managed to pull off with The Expanse. And as a science fiction and space game fanatic, I can honestly say that this show hosts some of the coolest space battles ever put to film. It's gritty, and it's a terrifying setting where bullets penetrate hulls with devastating effects. And none of the whole overblown, ridiculous Hollywood of two starships next to each other slamming the shit out of each other with photon laser grinder ion torpedo jabberdookums. It's fucking, it feels real. It feels gritty. It just grabs you, especially as somebody who's a fan of games of like Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. I love that The Expanse didn't go with like bullshit hand-wavium space shielding and crap like that. Like a railgun fucking rips right through your fucking ship. And it fucking sucks the air out and ventilates the entire ship. It's scary. Space battles have real tension to them because you quickly learn that a single round through a hull can just fucking kill it. And that's it. And you sit there with a sense of, God, what's going to happen if they get into this fight with this other ship? Like, who's going to fucking die from this? It's really, really impressive. And if you can't tell, I'm really passionate about what they've managed to create with this show. And I would love to get into it more, but I absolutely don't want to spoil the series for anyone. So go start watching it now, because I'd like to start putting out some future videos that recap older episodes on a journey to the currently running episodes, and those are obviously going to have spoilers. Also, if you enjoy reading, the books are fucking amazing. The writers made sure to include some differences here and there between the show and the books so that you can enjoy both of them equally and separately, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'm FailureToReport, and I'm telling you, don't miss out on The Expanse.
Drive signatures or make any visual IDs.
Somebody has a new fleet of warships.
I'm not a pilot. Someone else needs to fly.
I don't think I'm in any...
Get us out of here!
You got